Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Day Set. Oh, bit of an internet situation. Hopefully, we're all good. Hopefully, I get some of you on to join me to say hello, to see what your biggest health challenge has been, and what after our chat yesterday. We talked about habit versus addiction and what your addictions are and what are hard to let go of, and some interesting feedback. And I hear you, believe me, I've been there. Let me tell you about my start to my health journey. As I said, I had one of the biggest sugar addictions going on the planet, I think. Well, I don't know, it's probably debatable, but I know what it's like to have an addiction to food and to alcohol. I initially, let's talk about sugar, and I'll briefly touch on the alcohol because that's a whole nother level of, another story. But let's talk about sugar. For me, good morning, Jessica. Let me know, what is your biggest addiction or habit or something that you do want to break free from? So as I said, for me, my health journey really started talking to me. I would say my body started talking to me back maybe between about 12 years ago, maybe 12, 15 years ago, when, as I said, I thought I was eating healthy. I thought I was eating, the way that our health guidelines were advising me to. So, good morning, Maria. Was to eat low fat, to count calories, to move more, eat less, and eat lean meat. Don't eat a lot of red meat. Eat chicken breast only, skin off. Let me tell you what else I would do. I would just eat things like 2-minute noodles that were not fattening. I'd eat a lot of vegetables, eat a lot of salad, eat a lot of fruit. But I would just be really scared of the fat on the meat. I just didn't eat it for such a long time. So, but then I would eat muffins because I thought there were fruit in them and they were healthy, or like whatever had that heart tick on it in the supermarket, I would eat because I thought it was good for my heart. I didn't eat butter. I didn't eat olive oil. I ate like canola oil. I had margarine. Like, now what I know about that food, what toxicity was going into my body on a daily basis was like insane. And then because I would go to the gym and I would be really good all day, I would reward myself with chocolate or I don't know, just ice cream or stuff at night because I was like so good. And it was this like starvation reward. Like, it was a really toxic game of it's like a mind game that we play with ourselves. So I was going through experiencing constant brain fog, constant I couldn't finish a sentence, I couldn't finish a thought. I would have hyperglycemia. I would shake a lot of the time, and I would be constantly having to get my next fix of, I didn't know it was sugar at the time, but my next fix of food, because I just sort of had a really quick metabolism and I couldn't keep up. And this went on for so long. And then I don't know, my girlfriend bought me this book, and she said to me one time, "Oh, you got to quit sugar, it's bad for you." I'm like, that'd be ridiculous. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It is, it's natural. And she's like, yeah, but cyanide's natural, and blah blah's natural, and mushrooms are natural, and they can kill you, and blah blah's, all of these things in nature that can have a toxic effect on the body. But what I didn't know at that time too was like, but this is what everyone says to me when I'm coaching them too. It's like, but I don't eat much sugar. So it's not the white stuff that you put in your coffee or tea or the cakes that you bake or whatever. It's the hidden sugars that we are eating constantly all day long, hidden in food with 100 different names to be, also known as, that get you. And manufacturers, really, they're lucky to put like any natural ingredient that is in food now. They will always add a portion of salt and sugar to create this bliss point, which I talk about as well in my sugar detox program. But the bliss point, they have spent millions and millions of dollars with scientists everywhere to create a bliss point so you are addicted constantly to this feeling of food. So it's not only a mental craving, it's a physical craving, because it just gives us that dopamine hit. It gives us that feeling of, oh, thank God, I feel alive again, I feel normal. It brings your blood sugar back down for a second, and then it goes up and down and up and down and up and down all day long. And this is what keeps you addicted to sugar and processed food, because let's face it, it's in everything. And the other thing that happens is it's not just sugar, it's the white carbohydrate food that is converted into sugar in the bloodstream, like instantly. And your brain doesn't know the difference between white sugar, brown sugar, raw sugar, molasses, honey, fruit sugars, white bread, rice, and on it goes. It's quite scary, really. So if you really do struggle with, having addiction to food, and when you start eating and you don't have the ability to stop, this is one of the reasons why. It is so addictive. It's actually, they've done tests and they've proven that it is more addictive than cocaine. So that's pretty astounding. And so give yourself a break if you find it hard, because it's designed to be hard to get off of. But we don't realize the hold that sugar has on us. And also, so that's a physical sensation. And for me, it was really obvious that my body wasn't functioning properly. And so that was a very loud message for me. But what some of the quieter messages are in your body that you may be dealing with, but you just get used to these over time. And when you're not a super sensitive person and your body, you can tolerate it and tolerate it and tolerate it. And your body will constantly be giving you messages, but sometimes they're so subtle and you just are so used to not feeling great that it's easy to ignore them. It's easy to deal with it tomorrow and the next day and the next week, and it's just easy to not do anything about it. The hard thing is to do something about it, and it's not easy. But mentally, if you want to do it, you will be able to overcome this with what I talked about with your mindset, with what we talked about at the beginning of the week. So let's also talk about 10 more reasons not to eat sugar. And essentially, it suppresses our immune system. It disrupts our sleep-wake cycle, which I also had a lot of experience with insomnia, just with food, alcohol, all of those things, just dysregulating my circadian rhythm, and my body being so super sensitive to what it does need to function efficiently and effectively. It doesn't need all of the other stuff, and when I do that, my body lets me know. So it talks to me very loudly. So I wonder, does your body talk to you? What are the signals it gives you that you ignore? It also reduces the effectiveness of vitamin C. It blocks our receptors there. It triggers inflammation and disease. And doctors who are aware of the dietary, what do I want to say here? When we're suffering with inflammation, doctors who have awareness around nutrition and the body, the first thing they will tell you to do is cut out white flour, bread, rice, pasta, sugar. It is one of the biggest contributors to inflammation in the body. And if you're wanting to heal, if you've got joint issues, joint pain, if you're having to have hip surgery, knee surgery, all of those things, the best thing you can do is reduce your white flour, sugar, pasta. All of those things convert to sugar in the body and create inflammation. They've proven that it feeds cancer cells. So again, it's inflammation in the body. Cancer needs sugar to survive, so it's constantly wanting that. It's like a Pac-Man. It's wanting to feed on sugar. It raises insulin and disrupts hormone function, which I think for us women, as this is what I talked about, my insulin levels were just out of control by constantly eating all day long. So this is what I would consume in a day when I thought I was being healthy. I would start off with with a cup of tea and cereal, which was normally Sustain or some brown cereal with sultanas in it. Sustain or Nutrigrain or what's it, Sultana brand. I love those things because I needed that sweet little hit, but I was also getting the fiber and the roughage and all of the things that I needed. So and you know, all of that was marketed as great for the body, great for the health. So I would have that, and then I would maybe have a piece of toast with Vegemite. Sometimes back in the day, we'd have, you know, the good old white bread with high fiber. And then I would go to work and then get super starving around like 10 o'clock. And I would have to have yogurt or fruit, which was more sugar because, again, it was low fat, so it was full of sugar. Then I would have lunch and I would have to just eat so much food because I was so hungry. And I would have this huge roll and I would have like a schnitzel, chicken schnitzel in it or some chicken in it. And then, you know, salad, and then just, you know, always, I thought it was a super healthy lunch. And then by the afternoon, I'm like, I've been really good all day. I'm going to have a muffin, but this has got, as I said, fruit in it, or it's a bran muffin or whatever. All of it converted to sugar in the blood. And so my brain was just never coping. It couldn't deal with me, literally. And so then I would have for dinner, I would always have like what I would consider healthy, you know, meat and vegetables or pasta. I lived on pasta for a really long time. And that would be generally always low fat, something low fat, again, full of sugar. I did cook from scratch most of the time, so I could kind of tell what I was adding to my food. I didn't do jar food, which is even now worse because there's way more sugar added into these you know, ready for you sauces. So that was, you know, quite eye-opening when you look at the back and the ingredients list, which I also cover in my sugar detox, but how to read the ingredients list and understand what is sugar, then the 100 names for sugar. And then I would have dessert, and at the time I would have in my cupboard a stash of picnics or king size something, and I would have one every night, and it got to the point where I almost needed two. So this was like a day for me, and I was like, no wonder my body is out of control, like just running on literally sugar, blood crashing, going back up, going back down. So I had like an addiction, a real addiction to the sugar. So when my girlfriend bought me this book and I was like, this is ridiculous, there's no way I can do this, it's stupid, and and it was like 6 weeks to get off sugar. I was like, oh, maybe I'll give it a go. But I think I was so desperate at the point to find something that would help me feel better that I gave it a go, and I actually did it like so easily. It was mind blowing at how easy it was for me because I was so over feeling the way I was feeling, that I just decided I wanted to do it, and I did it. And it was big because all the kids are at home. You know, you've got a certain way of doing things, you've got a certain way of eating, and you know, you want to convince your whole family to do this. You want to convince everyone to do this once you know how good you feel, because, you know, why shouldn't the whole world feel like this? But you know, not everyone else wants to come along for the ride with you. So you have to be aware that might be the case, and that you're disrupting things in the family, in the way you do things, and you know, like just being okay with everybody still doing what they're doing. If you've got younger children, it's kind of easier because you're in control of what they eat. But when you've got older children, not a hope. You know, you want to be able to mirror and embody what you do, and just be a beacon for them. And if they want to come along, they can and they will. But essentially, your health is your responsibility, and what you need to do for your health depends on, you know, how you want to feel and what steps you want to take to feel better. And for me, I think sugar is one of the easiest things to take out of your diet and have the biggest effect on how you function in a day. You know, as I said, your brain health, your mental health, like they've even proven in aged care, when they introduce like a low carb keto diet, they take out their cake and coffee and blah blah. Every second meal has sugar in it. You know, it's cake and muffins and scones and whatever. The residents have a much better rate of I would say recovering from say not just diabetes, but also dementia and, you know, brain issues, real brain issues. So there's a lot of science on that as well. If you want to know more about that, reach out. There are many studies now proving that dementia and Alzheimer's is diabetes 3. So it's pretty scary. So also removing sugar from your diet, it increases the if you're eating too much sugar, it just increases the activity of your hunger hormone ghrelin and the leptin, and they just can't regulate. And so they're constantly reaching out, they're constantly telling you something's not right, and the body just wants to constantly be in homeostasis, like a natural balance. And so if you're putting too much salt and sugar in, it just wants to bring itself back to balance. And if you're not putting it in, then it just goes crashes, and says you're on this cycle all day long of trying to find balance in your body. Too much of it, it just brings you up too high, and it'll send out craving to try and bring you back down, and this is constant roller coaster of highs and lows all day long. And I got to the point where I thought I was diabetic. I was having these crashes all day long, and to the point, if I didn't eat, I would vomit. And I had tests done, and they're like, no, you're fine. And then the same thing happened when I was pregnant, like this constant almost blacking out, just because my blood sugar levels were all over the place. So the minute I took this out, all of it became so much more, it was just so much more in balance, and I just could feel better. Like, I still eat a lot of food. I eat a ton of food, but I put in my body what it requires, and there's much less disruption for my hormones and my health in general. And you know, it's been known to trigger anxiety and mood swings. Again, it's all to do with hormone balance, hormone function. Sugar can feed the bad bacteria in the gut, not allowing your gut to heal. And then it can overload to liver and contributes to fatty liver. And so at one point, the only time we had cirrhosis of the liver was due to alcohol. Now we have it due to the sugar content in the food. It's devastating, really. And the more children are suffering from this now than ever before. Children never used to have diabetes. They never used to have fatty liver cirrhosis. There was not obesity in children. There was not this amount of disease in children, and it's just getting younger and younger, and it's so alarming. So if you can model anything for your children, it's just how to eat well, what to do for your body, why your body's reacting like this. And as I spoke about yesterday, you know, it's not just what we're putting into our bodies physically that's creating the cravings. They are emotional as well, and they are, you know, from younger trauma days. So there's a blend of what needs to come together to help you find health and balance in your world. And so it's not all just, as I said, it's not all just about diet. It's not just about eating less and moving more. That's just not even a thing. It's not about counting calories. It's about understanding what happens to your body when you put this information into it. And as I said, when we think about our bodies, it requires information. And if you're programming it with the wrong information, it's gonna break down. It's gonna go haywire. So I just want to invite you to listen to what your body is asking or telling or trying to communicate with you. What is it communicating with you? Where is it not happy? Is it your knees? Is it your hips? Is it your gut? Is it your head? Is it the inability to sleep? Are you lethargic all the time? Do you have no motivation? Like, what is it that your body is communicating with you? That's all it's doing. It's not what we would say like letting you down. It's communicating with you. It wants wellness. It wants to be feeling good. It wants vitality. And what happens is when you get a symptom, and often we don't like the symptom because it's uncomfortable, we will go to the doctor and suppress it. And they will give you a medication so you don't feel that symptom. But the point of the symptom is to tell you something's not right in your body, and to change the fuel, to change the way you're doing things, to change, what you did yesterday didn't work, so are you going to do it again today? And you're going to do it again tomorrow. And it's hard to change. It's not an easy, we've got to go on a different road. If we think about how long we've been doing the same over and over and over again, and you've got to literally pull up the ship, you've got to change direction, and that requires effort. It requires support, it requires motivation, it requires dedication and willpower. And all of that on your own is not super easy. Sometimes people just can make the decision and do it on their own. But when you need support and you need to know how to do things differently, then that's where coaching is so powerful, because it gives you the tools, it gives you the all of the support to make these changes in small steps, in ways that you can maintain them. Because doing it all at once, sometimes all at once works, and people decide they're going to give up alcohol or smoking or whatever, bam, they quit, never to be touched again. Sometimes, but it's generally not how the body works, because the body likes what it knows, even if it's not good for us. As I spoke about yesterday, it just wants to feel safe, it just wants to feel like it just wants to do things the easiest way possible to keep you alive. And this is where you come into being in control of your body, mind and soul, so that it's in harmony and it can experience vitality. So there's a lot to consider when it comes to health and wellness, and it's been an unfortunate few decades where we're not being supported by health, and understanding what health is extremely confusing, even to the point of our sunlight, like I spoke about the other day, even to the point of getting your body in harmony with nature. It allows digestion to be more efficient. It allows you to process the food. Your body gets better information, better signals to help support total health and wellness. So I just wanted to offer you any support that you need going forward. I do have a 21-day sugar detox, which is ready to go. If you want to jump on, you can purchase that one, and that is 21 days of me helping support you through whatever it is you want to quit, whether it's sugar, whether it's alcohol, whether it's smoking, whatever food you're choosing to put in your body that you know is not serving you. You can let it go. It's possible. It's all possible. If you want better health, you want vitality, it's there for you. So, and what's included in the detox is daily videos. You get a workbook, a guidebook. You get to know, if you need to know about sciencey stuff, it's in there. If you don't, doesn't matter, you don't have to read it. It gives you options for cravings. It explains why you have cravings physically, and it also has recipe book there, lots and lots and lots of information. It's a huge book packed with lots of helpful information. We talk about meditation and getting the mindset right. We talk about your intentions. We talk about why you need better health, why you want better health, how to clear out the clutter in your life to make way for this new way of being, and to prepare, like get your family on board and aware. And they might come along easily, they might not, but that's okay too. Acceptance of where you're at, and doing this with love and no judgment around your body. As I said, we have not been set up for health and wellness. We've been set up to, like, in a way, we have been set up to live in suffering, because the news around us is constantly telling us how scared we need to be, and the food isn't set up to support us, and the environment and working isn't set up to support our best way of being. So there's lots that we are having to deal with. So if you do need support on navigating your body and your mind into wellness, I really recommend that you do this. You can take it at your own pace. I recommend you start it on a Monday if you're interested and want to, use this 5 days to understand it's not just about food, and go forward into finding health. And in 3 weeks, that you can be free of one of these addictions that has got a hold of you. Start it on a Monday and then just work daily, so that each Monday you're going into the next week and into the next week, and each 7-day group has so much valuable information. They're not super long videos, but they are really helpful, and they're just always going to be pointing out where and what you can do to navigate health. So I will leave the link in the video below, and I want to invite you to do this, to take a chance and a risk. And things are constantly needing you to navigate, change, express things in a different way. And if what you've been doing before hasn't worked, then I recommend you try this. And as I said, if you need any more clarity or support, send me a message, send me an email, and I can give you some ideas. But as I said, you can click the link and it'll explain everything that you get in the program. And it's super affordable. It's $111 for 3 weeks of constant support. And if you need more than that, I'm also available to do one-on-one coaching, whether you want to do a total transformation of 12 weeks of one-on-one personalized coaching, which includes the sugar detox, or just a one-off chat to really get you set up and supported. So yeah, I hope you found some benefit here. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you'll continue your health journey, because it's yours. There's no one else going to come and do the work for you. It's totally your life, and it's what we need to do daily. And sending you lots of love and support. And as I said, if you need any more support, reach out, and I will be on the airways everywhere and anywhere, always kind of banging on about health and where you can be supported. So yeah, have a great day. Happy Friday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me. Bye.